What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nierenstein, and this is Vehicle Virgins. I just got back from an epic trip. Got my car shipped all the way out to Miami, Florida, thanks to Anarchy, my boys. Ended up at Wheels Boutique, hung out with some awesome friends, then went to Ocala, Florida for a half-mile event. I raced my Lamborghini Huracan against a Porsche 918 Spider, as well as a 720S. Leroy the Savage, Cletus McFarland, was there, as well as Adam LZ, That Dude in Blue, Boosted Boys, JR Garage, Rob Ferretti, Tommy F. Yeah, and Drag Time. And we headed over to Daytona International Speedway. What an epic day that was. It poured rain. It was really intense out there on the track. 31-degree banks in a Lamborghini Huracan. The conditions were gnarly, but I still had a ton of fun. Then I ended up reviewing an F12 as well as an SL65 Black Series. I'd say that's a pretty epic weekend. But honestly, the thing that made it the most special, the most fun, and this is really always the case with anything you're doing in life, was the people. So seriously, guys, you know who you are. That was an epic time. But before we take off, let's talk about watches. Watches do a lot more than just tell the time. They complement your outfit, they make a statement, and they're also a conversation piece, especially in the world of cars. I get asked all the time, what watch looks good, is extremely high quality, and won't break the bank? Well, I've got an answer for you, and that's the same answer I've had for months because it truly is the best watch for the price. Vincero. For under $200, you're getting an incredibly high quality timepiece that looks great and turns heads. Honestly, the manufacturing process behind these watches are on par with those that cost 5-6 times as much. If you're looking for a watch to elevate your game at a fantastic price, then Vincero is the watch for you. Honestly, the watches are super stunning, but I don't have to just tell you that. Take a look for yourself. And the best part is because you are a Vehicle Virgin subscriber, you will get 15% off your entire purchase using the exclusive link in the description below. So you're saving money and you're looking better. That's a win-win in my book. With that, make sure to check out Vincero. Let's get on with the video. I need to wash this S-Class because it's so dirty, I feel bad. Got my washing materials. Let's head out. I miss this bad girl. Good morning, Ariana. Oh, start her up. That lighting though. It's so funny the emotional connection that we as automotive enthusiasts have with our cars. The fact that I actually missed my S-Class, I actually missed driving around in Ariana, I mean, I freaking love you, Ariana, is pretty astounding. To normal people, that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean you missed your car? It's an object. You go from point A to point B. You don't have an emotional connection with it, but we do. And that's what makes us car people. It's funny, there's always a massive hostile debate on the internet about what it truly means to be a car guy or girl. If you don't like JDM cars, then, well, you're not a car guy. If you're not into muscle cars, you're not a car guy. If you like supercars, you're not a car guy. Honestly, one of my goals with Vehicle Virgins now is to try to eliminate that. Being a car guy or girl, in my eyes, is nothing other than a human being that loves the automobile. People have different tastes, and that's what makes the automotive industry so awesome. If everyone loved the same thing, then every vehicle that hit the road would be identical to one another. A couple months ago, I wasn't super into trucks, but with hanging out with my friend Malcolm, going on little truck rallies, off-roading, getting to see the behind the scenes and what that crew is like, I have a newfound respect and appreciation for trucks. A lot of people claim that supercar owners aren't car guys because a real car guy would build the car from scratch. He'd pour his heart and soul out into modifying a car and making it his own. And building a car is awesome. At some point, I would love to own a project car and fully build the motor myself. But that doesn't mean that supercars are not an engineering marvel. They're not masterpieces. They're not some of the finest automobiles to drive on the road. There's a lot of anger and hostility in this world. I'm right, you're wrong. If you do this, you're not a car guy. If you do that, you are a car guy. I want Vehicle Virgins as a community to get to a place where even if somebody's taste in cars is different than yours, you can agree to disagree, but still respect that. Still respect that that is what they love. And that when it comes down to it, a car guy or girl really is just somebody who loves cars. The only exception is if you love Priuses. In that case, yeah, you're out. Headed to the car wash. Thing needs a bath so badly. Speaking of car washes, seriously, these coin-operated washes are a blessing. You pull into a stall, you put some coins in, and you spend some time with your car and you wash it yourself. It's definitely a good idea to bring your own microfiber towels, sometimes soap or mitts so you can wash the car, and never, ever, ever use the giant horsehair brush because, well, Goes without saying, you'll ruin your car. Not only do you get to hang out with your car, spend some time with it, but it also costs like $3. And you aren't gonna get your wheels and paint destroyed by taking it through one of those automatic washes. Ironically, one of the most annoying parts of having this car be dirty and also be an automotive vlogger is that when I'm trying to get cinematic shots out of the front windshield, got this disgusting dirt in the way of it. I love this stall because it's actually for trucks. You can get up on here and shoot downwards on the car. Now, some tips at washes like this. The first thing I do usually, once you put the coins in, is set it to pre-soak so you can get some of the dirt off. Then I use the actual soap feature, but it's not actually that dense. Now, a lot of these washes have these brushes that I'm talking about, which you absolutely should never use. But the brushes also often foam. That's right, foam actually comes out of here. And what I do is hold it above the car and kind of flick the foam at the car or let her dribble off so that you can get a denser amount of soap on the vehicle if you didn't bring your own.
Nobody said it'd be easy, but we took a train to the ceiling. And I'm high on all of my feelings. Don't wake me up from the street. I bought a one-way ticket to space. Let's get out of here. I heard you, but it's nice this time of year. Out in the wild, find our eating. Let's stay a while, never leaving. Sound the alarm in my heart. We're taking long.
And just like that, boom, she's all clean. There you go, much better. A windshield I can see out of. Woo! All right, back at the crib. After recently reviewing the Tesla Model 3 and spending the entire weekend in a Tesla Model S, I thought it would be the perfect time to go over what is happening in the world right now in the automotive industry in terms of electric cars. The Tesla Model 3 is fantastic, plain and simple. It looks decent, it's fast, it's got plenty of technology, it drives itself, it's comfortable, it's fun, it's priced really well, and of course, it's done a fantastic job at marketing itself without an ounce of marketing whatsoever. I honestly really appreciate all the positive support and comments on the Model 3 review. That video right now is taken off, and I'm excited because I worked really hard on it. While Tesla currently reigns as the ultimate electric car king, there are a handful of manufacturers now that are trying to dethrone Tesla. Let's see what they are. With government regulations being tighter than ever, as well as EPA standards, the gasoline-powered car is being squeezed to its very limits of efficiency. Thus, we are starting to see a lot more all-electric cars pop out on the market. In fact, as battery and electric motor technology is advancing, we're starting to see the true and real benefits, even if you're a car enthusiast, of electric motors. For one, electric motors have 100% torque available at 0 RPMs. That's part of the reason why you're able to see cars like the Model S P100D accelerate from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. Now they become progressively less efficient and the cars slow down. As you saw in the half-mile event, the Model S actually wasn't all that fast on the top end. But how often are you really going to be taking your Model S well over 100 miles an hour? Electric motors have also made their way into the hypercar industry. With the P1 918 and LaFerrari, electric motors were able to be used for additional power gains as well as harnessing some of the energy lost under braking. But with Tesla creating a pseudo-monopoly of the electric car industry, others are getting ready to step up. Now, yes, we already have all-electric cars like the BMW i3, the Chevy Bolt, the Nissan Leaf, but let's be real, those cars are boring, they're ugly, and they're nowhere near competitors to Tesla. That being said, there is a new wave of all-electric cars that are promised to hit the showroom floors within the next 2 years. The first up, something that I've talked about in the past that was just announced at CES, is the Faraday Future 9.1. The numbers of the Faraday Future 9.1 are absolutely staggering. Get this, horsepower, 1,050. Yep, that's right, over 1,000 horsepower. 0 to 60 in a Tesla rivaling supercar destroying 2.39 seconds. Not only that, but like the Tesla, it's got optional all-wheel drive, except in this instance, it has rear-wheel steering and rear torque vectoring. It's also got a 30% larger battery than any Tesla out there. The Model S P100D has a 100 kilowatt hour battery. The Faraday Future 9.1, 130 kilowatt hours. The range is longer as well, 435 miles of expected range. Even more interesting than that, the Faraday Future 9.1 is built on a variable chassis, one that can be lengthened or shortened, which means they're planning on coming out with more cars. If you go on their website, you can already see that they have a concept for a supercar, I wouldn't be surprised if then you see a Model 3 competitor as well. Like the Model S, the Faraday Future can drive itself as well as park itself, but unlike the Model S, it has 30 sensors and a retractable LiDAR system that's actually capable of allowing the Faraday Future to drive through a parking lot, search for a parking spot itself. Now, no car can do this. By the time you set the car up in the right spot, you found a spot already, and you know you gotta drive it up just to the right spot so that you can activate the self-parking feature and it can park itself just so you can show off to your friends. You could have just parked the damn car yourself. But in this case, the fact that it can actually find a parking spot itself and park it within the spot, that's pretty impressive if it actually ends up working. The Faraday Future 9.1 doesn't even have a key. That's right, there's no key whatsoever. It uses facial recognition as you walk up to the car to unlock it. Faraday claims the production will start sometime in 2018, and I can't wait to see it hit the roads. The next and most promising electric vehicle manufacturer at dethroning Tesla is Porsche. That's right, Porsche, the creator of the world's most engaging and fun to drive sports cars, is making an all-electric sedan. They demonstrated the effectiveness of a hybrid powertrain with the Porsche 918 Spyder, but now it's time to go fully electric and cheaper. Hopefully way cheaper. So what is the Mission E? Well, simply put, it's the coolest looking all-electric four-door you've ever seen in your entire life. And the best part is, it's actually becoming a real vehicle, not just a concept. In fact, when I was at Porsche touring the factory, they were building the Mission E facility, massive facility, right there in Stuttgart. They could have saved money by going elsewhere, but they wanted to have it right at home to share some of the heritage of the Porsche 911 and make it right there in Stuttgart. It supposedly will have a range of over 300 miles, and first and foremost, it will be a sports car. 2 permanent magnet synchronous motors, man, that is really hard to say, similar to the ones that power the Porsche 919 hybrid race car, will power the Mission E. 1 motor in the front and 1 in the rear allows for all-wheel drive, and it also allows for a combined output of more than 600 horsepower. Some sources have said up to 670. 0 to 60 will happen in less than 3.5 seconds, which, compared to a Tesla Model S P100D, considering that already exists and the Porsche doesn't yet, isn't that crazy. But it's funny, Porsche takes a direct stab at Tesla by saying, there's nothing all that interesting or spectacular about going fast in a straight line. Their main bread and butter is the driving dynamics of their cars, and that's really what's going to differentiate the Porsche Mission E from the Tesla. The Model S, stupid fast in a straight line, but it's not actually all that much fun to drive around turns. The Model 3 was fun to drive, but you could tell being an all-out sports car wasn't their first priority. The Mission E has torque vectoring. It also has all-wheel steering like the Porsche GT3 and the 911. It also shares a chassis derived from the 911 to combine sportiness and comfort. Porsche is also claiming a Nürburgring lap time of under 8 minutes. One of the biggest allures to the Mission E is its charging time. So the Tesla Model S now uses a 400-volt charging system. Allows it to charge decently fast, but Porsche thinks that's not good enough. In fact, they've upped the voltage to 800-volt charging, which allows it to charge 250 miles of range in just 15 minutes. That's actually really impressive. Porsche's chairman Oliver Bloom says that the Mission E will go on sale in late 2019 and be priced very similar to an entry-level Porsche Panamera. If it looks anything like the Mission E concept and it actually costs $85,000 to $90,000, I will get one instantly. I actually saw a camoed production Mission E driving around on the Autobahn while I was in Germany taking European delivery of my E63. That was a sight to see. In fact, Porsche wants to make these 800-volt charging stations go all along the Autobahn for convenience of driving. That being said, I don't imagine the range is going to be 300 miles when you're traveling at well over 100 miles an hour. Inside and out though, the Mission E is absolutely stunning. The menacing front end, beautiful front headlights, massive razor-sharp rear tail light, and aggressive side profile make it one of the best, if not the best looking four-door sedans ever created. And that's pretty impressive considering the first generation Porsche Panamera was hideous. The concept features suicide doors, which will likely be ditched for production. In fact, the test mule that I saw definitely did not have suicide doors. But on the inside, things get even more interesting. The front dash, for instance, it is 5 different OLED screens. Nothing out of the ordinary, but what is out of the ordinary is how they operate. When you're driving a car, often the instrument cluster is blocked by the steering wheel. This happened when I just drove the Ferrari F12, beautiful tunnel made of carbon fiber, but the way I was sitting, I wasn't actually able to see anything between 4,000 and 7,000 RPMs. That's kind of useless. Well, the OLEDs actually track your body movements. Let's say you slouch, or you lift up, or you're bending to the right or to the left, so that you are always able to clearly see what's on the display. How cool is that? The chairs, we've got 4 different captain's chairs. The design is spectacular. If the production version of the Mission E actually comes out half as cool as the concept, this will be the only true competitor to the Model S. In fact, it'll be way cooler than the Model S. It might get Tesla some trouble. Here's the craziest thing I've heard in a while. Ferrari, yes, Ferrari is making an all-electric supercar. That's right, I can't even imagine what Enzo would be thinking right now, picturing ditching the glorious V12, that brilliant sound, and replacing it with silent electric motors. In fact, his famous quote that we don't build cars, we build engines. The cars we throw in for free to hold the engines in is now rendered completely useless because it no longer has engines, it has electric motors. Oh boy. Ferrari's CEO, Sergio Marchionne, I don't know how to pronounce his name whatsoever, just announced, and I quote, "If there is an electric supercar to be built, Ferrari will be the first." So the Rimac Concept 1, that already exists, people own them, that doesn't count? Or the first version of the Tesla Roadster, that doesn't count? Or the new version of the Tesla Roadster that they've already unveiled, that doesn't count? I mean, dude, what? Another funny, douchey, and ironic quote from the Ferrari CEO is, quote, "People are amazed with what Tesla did with the supercar." Note, he just said that Tesla's already made a supercar. And then he goes on to say, "I'm not trying to minimize what Elon did." That's like saying no offense before you say something really offensive. "Oh, I'm not trying to minimize what Elon did, but I'm trying to minimize what Elon did." And oh, Ferrari, what the? "I'm not trying to minimize what Elon did, but I think it's doable by all of us." Okay, so yeah, just everyone can do it. Everyone can build a Tesla. Yep, makes sense. This is coming from the same guy who said in 2016, "You'd have to shoot me before we build an SUV." Well, Ferrari's building an SUV now, so run fast, I guess. There are no concrete details on the Ferrari electric supercar other than the fact that it is in fact happening. And if they want to be the first, even though they'll probably be the 10th, but they'll still call it the first, they're probably going to have to beat out the Tesla Roadster that's supposed to come out in 2020. So hopefully, we'll see an all-electric Ferrari supercar by the end of 2019. Well, there you have it. Faraday Future is hoping to make a name for itself and become an all-electric icon. Porsche, the ultimate sports car manufacturer, is creating an all-electric 4-door. Ferrari is once again hypocritical, coming out with an all-electric supercar, and BMW is unveiling an all-electric version of the i8 Roadster. Even Aston Martin is making a limited production, 155 unit run of the Rapide S, called the Rapide E or the Rapide. That's an all-electric variant of the Rapide. Will Tesla survive after all of these massive manufacturers come together and start producing competitive electric vehicles? Honestly, probably. Tesla has done incredibly well for themselves, and unless they get into serious financial trouble, I don't really see that coming to an end. But only time will tell. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.